Dear seekers, close your eyes for a moment. Let go of every name you've been called, every thought you've ever believed, every story you've ever told yourself. Now, ask yourself, who am I? Don't rush to answer. Just stay with the question. Feel it echo inside you. Because this is not a question of the intellect. This is a key to unlock the most ancient door within you. The door that leads beyond your memories, your habits, your fears, your name, to your true nature, divine, conscious, infinite. But why is it so difficult to open that door? Because the path is guarded by an old and stubborn servant, your subconscious mind. It is ancient. It has been collecting impressions since the moment you were born, perhaps even before. Every word you heard as a child, every fear unspoken, every wound left untreated, every belief silently adopted from parents, teachers, society, all of it has sunk into this deep, shadowy basement of the mind. It works like a script behind the curtain. You think you're making conscious choices, but it is your subconscious that's choosing your reactions, your patterns, your desires, your limits. You are trying to walk forward, but you are chained by the programs of the past. For instance, someone might struggle with public speaking, not because they lack words or intelligence, but because, as a child, they were once laughed at in class. That one moment coded fear into the subconscious, and decades later, the adult still trembles before a crowd without fully understanding why. The subconscious does not understand language. It does not respond to logic. It responds to repetition, to emotion, to imagery, and above all, to presence. That's how the old programming got in, and that's how the new one must be planted. Buddha understood this deeply, not as a theory, but as lived truth. One day, a disciple came to him, disturbed. He said, "Lord, I have been meditating, listening to your words, but when I go back home, the same anger returns, the same desires, the same restlessness. It's as if my old habits overpower me before I even know it." Buddha did not answer immediately. He simply smiled and said, "Come with me." He took the disciple into the forest where a path had been formed by countless feet walking upon it. Buddha then asked the disciple to leave the path and walk into the thick underbrush beside it. The thorns pricked his legs. Branches resisted his steps. It was painful. Buddha said, "Now turn around and walk back the same way again." The second time was easier. The third time, easier still. And after several repetitions, that wild patch began to look like a trail. Buddha then pointed to the well-trodden old path and said, "That is your subconscious programming, worn by years of walking the same thoughts, the same emotions. You can't destroy it in a day. But if you walk a new path, again and again, with awareness, it too becomes smooth. The old one, unused, will vanish into the forest." That is reprogramming, not a war with the mind, but a gentle, persistent redirection. You begin by watching your reactions without judgment. When anger rises, watch it. When fear stirs, feel it. When envy burns, observe it. Don't resist, don't identify, just witness. Because in that witnessing, a miracle occurs. The subconscious, which has always been a silent puppeteer, is now exposed. And once exposed to the light of awareness, it begins to lose its grip. Imagine someone who always reacts, with jealousy when their partner talks to someone else. Instead of fighting the emotion or blaming the partner, they simply observe the surge of feeling as it arises. Slowly, through awareness, they begin to see the roots, not in the present moment, but in an old wound of not feeling enough. As a child, and that insight alone begins to break the chain. Then you begin to replace old beliefs with truth, old fears with presence. You whisper into your own being, not once, but daily, I am not this story. I am not this fear. I am not this lack. I am awareness itself. I am that which sees. I am that which knows. I am that which simply is. Repeat it, not mechanically, but reverently, like a prayer from your soul to yourself. Use images. Visualize yourself sitting as a still mountain, thoughts like clouds floating by, unable to touch you. Feel a golden light descending from the crown of your head, melting all old impressions. Bathe your inner world in this light. The subconscious doesn't understand words, but it understands symbols. It obeys feeling. That's why rituals, chants, music, and meditations work. They bypass the intellect and speak directly to the subconscious. A woman I knew used to begin each morning by lighting a candle and silently repeating, I am enough. I am a light. She did this even when she didn't believe it. But over weeks, something shifted. Her posture changed. Her tone softened. And one day, when faced with the same old criticism at work, she smiled instead of shrinking. That's how it works, not by magic, but by inner realignment. And most importantly, come into presence. The now is the gateway. Every time you are fully here, not lost in past or future, not tangled in thought, you are rewriting the program. You are remembering the truth. Because the truth is not something you must add. It is something already here, hidden beneath the noise. Think of those rare moments when you're walking under a starlit sky, when your child laughs and you forget all your worries, when you lose yourself in painting, music, or prayer. In those moments, you were not your mind. You were presence itself, and it felt like home. You are not the mind. You are not even the subconscious. You are the one who sees both. You are the divine, conscious, infinite nature itself, dreaming for a while that it is broken, that it is lost, that it is a name, a story, a body. But even in the dream, you are whole. Just as the sun remains shining behind the clouds, your true nature has never been touched. So begin today, not by fighting the mind, but by flooding it with light. Not by condemning your habits, but by gently redirecting them toward truth. Walk the new path, again and again. Speak to yourself like a lover. Sit with yourself like a sage. See through yourself like a Buddha. And slowly, silently, you will realize you are not trying to become divine. You already are. You are only hypnotized into forgetting.